different reasons. So we have to usually have sources of water.
Aloha all, I just wanted to give you a quick thank you for watching our videos and sharing the love and the aloha. I hope that our videos encourage you to go out and seek all the beautiful wonders there are to explore and absorb. There's small to unimaginable, wonderful blessings out there in the world and within us. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the videos. That really encourages me and helps me to want to keep creating more for you and share more with you. And the more we share, the more love we spread. That is my hope. That is my prayers. Thank you again. Thank you for spreading and sharing the aloha and all the love. Warm wishes and blessings. When I was younger, I used to see those ocean spray commercials, and not only would I get thirsty for cran apple juice, but I would see those dudes walking around in their gear and overalls, trudging through just pools of red, beautiful berries. And I thought, how fun would that be? So we got the opportunity to go see an actual cranberry bog in Massachusetts. I was so excited and thrilled to share this with our family, our ahana, and what a wonderful experience we had. So much fun learning about how this small little berry can create such a wonderful, juicy, impactful punch in our day, in our world. Hope you enjoy.
So
Good morning.
Good morning. It's so spacious, soft, and could even be moist, so please don't get too close. It's a little deceiving. I don't want anyone slipping in. We will be explaining what you're doing with the harvest when we get there, and then we'll also love questions, so please ask plenty of questions. I did do a little thing about Red Meadow. The owners are relatively new cranberry farmers. Red Meadow Farms is a 17.5-acre farm with 7 acres of cranberry bogs. They do some dry harvest for fresh berry sales, but mostly do a wet harvest for the main crop, which is most cranberry growers, and you'll learn about that. The owners have sheep that help with weeds on the sides of the bog. They also have built their own bee house for pollination needs and honey. They have a wonderful farm stand they just opened like a week and a half ago. They sell cranberries, honey, apples, vegetables, focuses on sustainably made and grown products from Massachusetts and Maine, where each of the couple grew up. They are working to bring items from all of the New England states. We'll be there for about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll be discussing harvesting near the machines and give you a chance to walk around, and if you want to visit the farm stand. The bus will honk twice when it's time to leave, so please make your way back when you hear it.
one thing you'll notice is that growing and farming cranberries isn't the same as growing and farming, say, potatoes, corn, where you have these straight rows. Cranberries, They don't grow in water, but they grow around water. They're vines, and they're very highly branched out. So they become so they need specialized equipment. And what the cranberry farmers do, which I find pretty fascinating, is they will take ordinary farm equipment and they will adapt it and make their own. And then even like this one right here with the little flag, you can see the wet harvest. It looks like almost like an egg beater in the front. And what it does, instead of like harvesting like you'd see these big harvest things that pull things underneath, it goes the other way. So what it does is it goes through the water, and you'll probably see this when we see the harvest. It knocks the berries off the vines, and they do it very gently. You'll notice also that the tires are very big and puffy. I don't know what you call that, what the technical term is for tires like that. But that's because the actual equipment goes onto the bogs, and you have to be gentle because you don't want to hurt the vines. You don't want to hurt the berries. So it's very specialized equipment. Cranberry growers work together on this. They collaborate and they share. It's not like the cranberry guy goes out and gets a patent on it or something and starts charging people. They share it. My background is, I was just telling somebody when I first moved here about 10 years ago, I had no idea what about cranberries. I bought the can every Thanksgiving. That's about my extent of cranberry knowledge. I got a job at, I taught at Wareham Middle School, and at the school, at the time, we developed a STEAM Academy, and as part of the curriculum, we had the STEAM Academy, then of course we had the Maths core curriculum, and then we developed and taught a curriculum around cranberries. And that is because in this area, you'll see Carver, where we are now, and Wareham are the two greatest square footage miles of cranberry bogs in Massachusetts. So I would go into my classroom every year and I'd say, okay, how many of you have relatives that work in the cranberry business? I'd get 5, 6, 7 hands every class. So I had the good fortune, we developed the curriculum, we taught it, and we actually ended up growing 2 mini bogs at the school, on the school grounds. They're like 20 by 40 foot, kind of like sample mini bogs. And so that's when I fell in love with cranberries. The business is multi-generational, which is again is why I had students raising their hands, because they would be helping their parents, their grandparents out in the bogs. It's multi-generational, it's very collaborative, it's very technologically sensitive and environmentally sensitive. You'll see too, the early blacks and the house are the 2 most commonly used in this area types of cranberries. There are several more, of course, and there are also some hybrids being brought together by the cranberry growers to make them maybe larger, more sturdy, more resistant to the changes that we're finding in the weather, where we're getting the reason this is this time of year is we have the perfect kind of latitude to grow cranberries. And if you look, this is Mr. Ward's bogs right here. They're not getting harvested yet. But as you can see, the cranberries do not grow in water. However, all along this latitude, the reason why this is the perfect geographical location is because this is where in the last ice age, the glaciers stopped at this latitude. And anyone here from Cape Cod? No? Okay. If you're from the Cape Cod, you'll see the glacial moraine ended right at this latitude, and it created the bog situations, the marshy situations, the climatic situations that are perfect for raising cranberries. You need moderate temperatures, and then, which happened I think about a week ago, you need this like 1 or 2 nights of cold, and then that ripens the cranberries so they start to turn color, and that's when everybody gets ready to the harvest. What you have to do is, another thing you'll realize when we go to the bogs, you'll see that you have to be they're very aware of temperature. This is a year-round process. People think, there's really no downtime for a cranberry grower. They, in the winter, they do ice them up. Like what will happen is, as I said, they grow in the dry, but as you can see the dikes around the perimeter, those are the part that you don't want to get near because they're usually at a very sharp angle and slippery. So what they do is they will flood the bogs. The water comes in, maybe 8 to 10 inches of water on top of the bog. And then they take that piece of equipment that I think I showed you from the barn with the little flag, that they take they're like very gentle egg beaters, and they go in the opposite direction, and they will loosen the cranberries from the vines. So now your healthy cranberries are going to float. Okay, they're self-contained. They're in like this little orb, and they're coated with a layer of pectin that is water resistant. So you want to do it quickly because you don't want them in the water for too long, because that's not good for anything. Although cranberries will last a long time if you keep them dry. Get a couple months out of a cranberry if you keep it dry. And a freezer can last a couple of years. But you want to keep them dry. But maybe a day or two, they can be in the water. So they'll flood the bogs. You'll see the outer side, the outer edge is a little higher, so they're going to be able to handle that water. And they take the little egg beater with the soft tires so they don't hurt the vines, and they kind of take the egg beater. No, they take and then the cranberries are floating. And then what they're going to do is what you're going to see, I hope today. They take a big boom, like the kind of booms like the Coast Guard uses when there's an oil spill. If you know what I'm talking about. And they'll take that around the perimeter of the bog, and as they gather it in, there's a specialized truck again, with a vacuum that vacuums up the cranberries, literally, and the water, and a little bit of leaves and debris and stuff like that. Look how beautifully kept these are.
every time I try to leave, you're keeping me occupied. I'm losing track of time. Losing track of time. Sometimes love is a thought we held too long. Sometimes it's alright just to be a little wrong, with no sense of consequence, the strength to carry on. The day breaks in the darkest places right before the dawn. So if you ever lie awake with situations in your mind and you try to sleep it off, but night keeps on passing by, you're losing track of time. Losing track of time. Sometimes love is a reason to hold on, blowing like a hurricane right inside of me and you. No blues or avenues can take away my stride. When love's standing holding hands right here by my side. So if you wanna take a ride and see what happens down the road, find yourself a pair of gloves and get yourself a warmer coat. Oh yes, we'll be doing fine. Just losing
For a
track.
while, they're a native plant to Massachusetts, along with the blueberries. I want to say grapes. And so the cranberries used to just grow wild. The Native Americans would come in, they would just pick them and eat them, or they would add them to their deer meat and use it for pemmican. And because it kept well, they'd keep it forever almost. So they used to just eat it wild. And of course, when the Pilgrims came, they introduced it to the Pilgrims. The Native Americans called it ibimi, which means bitter fruit. There are also a couple other names that kind of mean the same thing, like bitter fruit type thing. And then the Native Americans started using it. The Pilgrims started using it, but it still grew wild. The first person that cultivated was a Captain Henry Hall in the beginning of the 1800s, around 1816. He lived on Cape Cod, which is I think where Cape Cod cranberry rose comes from. But he lived in Dennis, and he noticed that at certain times when sand blew over the logs, they seemed to be happier with that, or grow better. So he kind of experimented with it a little bit, and then he started. So he was the first person that is credited with cultivating the cranberries and making them something a little more serious, and, a product that could be used and cultivated and things like that. So it was Henry Hall, and he started the cranberry business. So I think that may be why the Cape Cod cranberry rose comes.
Buy a box of cranberries, take them home and put them in a vase or a jar, and put them on the kitchen table for a centerpiece. They're more beautiful than flowers, right? The cranberry grow. You can eat them. They last longer than flowers, and that spiel works every time.
peeking in on them. Aw, cute.
Slow love, uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I want slow love, no need to rush. I'll say it in my dreams, strange as it may seem. I reminisce the codependence, the games that we played, lost our minds. So maybe you could stay, 'cause you got me thinking that possibly I've changed. I need slow love, yeah, the real one. I've seen it in my dreams, strange as it may seem.